We from BEA S101 Group 3. This is our group presentation for the assignment. Okay, our title is Implementation Scada System in Thermal Power Plant. Next. Okay, this is our party member. I'm Bruno Nazri bin Azali, Nur Fatih Syazwani binti Nur Azman, Putra Muhammad Hanif bin Ahmad Froji, and Muhammad Daniel Azman bin Irban Sofian. Next. Okay, for the introduction. Okay, first we need to know what is the SCADA system. Okay, SCADA system is supervisory control and data acquisition system. It's a system of software and hardware element that allow the industrial organized to first control the industrial process locally or at remote location, monitor, gather and process real-time data, and next, the direct interact with device such as sensor, valve, pump, motor, and more through human-machine interface that we call HMI software. For the lastly, the system also can record event into a log file. Okay, next. Okay, SCADA system also are crucial for industry organization since they help to maintain the efficiency, the system, process data for smarter decision, and the system also communicate the system issue to help mitigate downtime. Next. Okay, we can know SCADA system similar with the PLC system. Okay, the basic SCADA architecture begin with programmable logic controller that we know PLC or remote terminal unit RTU. PLC and RTU are microcomputer that communicate with any area or object such as factory machine, HMI, sensor and device. Next. Okay, this system wrote the information for those objects to computer with SCADA software. The SCADA software process the describe and display the data. And lastly, the system helping the operator and other employer analyze data and make the important decision. Okay, next. Okay, this is the basic SCADA diagram. Okay, next. Okay, lastly for my part, industry that using SCADA, and we know for the industry that use the SCADA system, first industry energy, oil and gas, transportation, manufacturing, industry power, and lastly industry water. Okay, that's all for my part. Next.
Okay, we go to the component list for this thermal power plant. There are two component in this thermal power plant, which is steam generator and steam turbine. For the steam generator, we have boiler, furnace, and steam drum, superheater, reheater, fuel preparation system, air pump. And then the lastly, ash collector. Okay, for the boiler, furnace, and steam drum, the water enter into boiler through an economizer, and from there it passes to the steam drum. The boiler transfer the energy to the water by using the coal as a fuel. As the water comes into the boiler, it is converted into steam using the heated water valves. The generated steam enters into the steam drum and passes through the number of steam and water separator. Okay, for the superheater, some power plants use superheater, which is used to heat the steam beyond the saturation temperature. After passing the drying equipment inside the drum, the steam is fed to the furnace called superheater. Superheater use the hot flue gases to provide the more energy to the steam vapor. This superheated steam is now above the saturation temperature and it passes to the turbine. Okay, next, reheater. Many power plants contain the reheater, which is used to provide the more energy to the steam so it can be drive the blade of the turbine. The reheater use flue gases outside of the tubes to produce highly energized steam. Then fuel preparation system. Thermal power plant use natural gas, fuel oil, or coal as the fuel. Coal from the storage is crushed into small particle. This coal is conveyed to the belt and fed to the coal feed hopper. Next, A part. The combustion unit required sufficient air for burning the coal. The draft take the air from the atmosphere, warm the air in preheater and feed the air in furnace walls using the air nozzle. Then, last for the steam generator, which is ash collector, the flying ash collected by the electrostatic precipitator or filter. The flying ash is collected by filter and then transported using the vehicle. The flying ash should be periodically removed from the hopper. Then steam turbine, we have bearing gear, condenser, feed water heater and deaerator. For deaerator, we have two tray type deaerator and spray type deaerator. For the bearing gear is used to supply the rotation to the shaft at low speed even after unit is stopped. When the unit stops completely, then there is a chance for the shaft to bend if it is remain in one position too long. The reason is behind this is the heat inside the turbine is concentrated at upper portion of the case. This, this could lead to bending of the shaft. Okay, for the condenser, condenser used to convert the steam into water. Condenser is made of tube and water flow through the tube. The steam from the turbine pass over the condenser tube. The condenser tube are also known as heat exchanger. To achieve the higher efficiency, the condenser temperature is kept as low as practical. Okay, next, feed water heater. Feed water heater is used to heat the water which is supplied to the boiler. Feed water heater used to increase the efficiency. Feed water heater increase the water temperature gradually, which is will reduce the predictable, irreversible incorporate with water. Then for deaerator is we have three type deaerator and spray type deaerator. Tray type deaerator, the schematic diagram of the tray type deaerator is shown in figure in our report. It has vertical generation section on the top of the horizontal boiler. The water feed from the vertical section and flow downward. Now the low pressure steam flow upward through the hole. The steam exits via the hole at the top of the section. The vent generally use valve to allow steam to escape. For the spray type deaerator, it's shown in the other figures. So it is horizontal vessel which has preheating section and decretion section. This the feed water is fed to the section and heated by the steam. The purpose of this section is to heat the water to its saturation temperature. So the preheated water now flow to the section and it's decreated by the steam. Then the gas strip out of the water via hole at the top of the section. So next.
Okay, next for architecture of SCADA. SCADA system comprise of telemetry and data acquisition. The necessary control tasks are then communicate back to the process. The SCADA working principle encompass the following four functions: data acquisition, network data communication, data presentation. The term SCADA usually refer to centralized system which monitor and control entire site. Most control action are performed automatically by remote terminal unit (RTUs) or by programmable logic controller (PLC). Host control function are usually restrict to basic overriding or supervisory level intervention. Most control action are performed automatically by remote thermal unit or by PLC. Host control function are usually restricted to basic overriding. Okay, so for the next is SCADA system in thermal power plant. SCADA simulation of thermal power plant developed using LabVIEW data login and supervisory control. DSC module has capacity to supervise the operation and data acquisition. Scada system database and software program to provide trending, diagnose data and management information such as schedule maintenance procedure, logistic information, detailed schematic for a particular sensor or machine, and expert system troubleshooting guide for plant. A simulation has facility to acquire the value of temperature and pressure which are sensed by a temperature sensor and pressure sensor respectively. Figure this figure show the main screen for plant simulation and supervision of turbine. Okay, for the next is supervision of turbine. So as we can see, this screen show the turbine in which we are showing 4 parameter to display: temperature, pressure, torque, and speed. To engage and disengage the turbine from alternate by which we can run the alternator in neutral mode. Okay, next for the supervision of cooling water system. The purpose of cooling system is to transfer heat from one source of medium to another. In cooling system, which cooling tower, cool water is pumped away from the cooling tower and is circulate through the hot equipment, usually through a separate piping system in heat exchanger. In the cooling tower, the warm water is sprayed downward and the air is blown upward with a fan. Contact the air, some of the water droplet evaporate and the air absorb the heat released from this evaporation. So from the figure below, we can see the uh, so, uh, interface for cooling tower system. Now, okay, for the last, supervision of pump operation system. From the main screen, trainee can switch to pump operations screen by clicking the pump control icon. Trainee able to operate the pump in manual mode. In auto mode, he can monitor the status of the pump as it in on or off state. Um, so from main screen, trainee can able to operate the pump manual mode or auto mode. So next, that's all. Conclusion.
Okay, so my part, after of the discussion, we can conclude that modern SCADA system are becoming a fundamental part of industrial operation thanks to advancement in IT technology. This system capture a plethora of data from critical components and industrial processes throughout a business regardless of geographical location using Industry Internet of Things technology such as sophisticated and simple sensor. The transfer and processing of that data into usable information is then enabled through technology. HMI systems show and convey data to qualified technicians, allowing them to make data-driven decisions quickly and efficiently. SCADA system can be used in conjunction with RCM and maintenance plans that emphasize preventative maintenance. Scada provides the data and technology to enable extension automation and data collecting, allowing issues and failures to be identified before the cause substantial equipment damage, shut down a whole production line, create a serious accident, or result in environmental disaster. SCADA system and related procedure have a lot of potentials as technology advances in the future to help company boost income and safety. That's all for our presentation. Thank you. Dah.